Alright, so today we are going to be making some spaghetti. We have some pasta sauce. It's just tomatoes, onions, and bell peppers. Unfortunately, no mushrooms. Some spaghetti noodles because we do not like angel hair. A saute pan and a big pot to boil water for the noodles. Then we have some garlic, some salt and pepper, and some hamburger seasoning, and I promise this goes good with anything that has beef or turkey in it, which this is a turkey spaghetti sauce recipe, and some chili powder. Alright, so now I feel like this should be a no duh step, but I will throw it in here for good measure because sometimes some people do not think of it. But please, when you are cooking for others, wash your hands. Before I also start browning the meat, I preheat my oven for the garlic toast that me and Kristen love to make when we have any type of Italian food. And now the turkey meat has defrosted, so I'm starting to brown it. Just make sure to try and separate the meat as much as possible so you don't have any extremely large chunks of meat, because once the meat does brown, it is going to be harder to break apart those pieces, because once they do start cooking, they do get tougher. And now I'm just going to get a clean fork because I'm going to be getting some garlic out of the jar. And obviously with that gigantic jar, we do use it for other things. So make sure the fork is clean. Then after adding that, and keep in mind none of this is actually measured, I just eyeball it. After that, I am adding in some chili powder. And then I'm going to add in the hamburger seasoning, and I'm just very generous with all of this. Now on to salt and pepper. And I do put some salt into the noodles because that helps the noodles from sticking together. And I am being a Riri and checking to make sure that I did not turn the incorrect eye on for the pasta, because it is still trying to boil. And as you can see, the meat is mostly brown now, so that water has been boiling for a minute, and I was starting to become a little frustrated with it. Now, when it comes to turkey meat, you most times do not have to drain the turkey meat because it does not produce a lot of fatty liquids like beef does. So, as you can tell, almost all liquids have evaporated. So, you do not need, and yes, the water is still trying to boil. So, you do not need to drain the turkey meat for this particular recipe. And now I'm just turning the eye down some to about medium because we are going to be adding in the pasta sauce. And what I do after I've tried to get as much of the sauce out as I can, I go and I fill it up with a little bit of water. Not much, probably about 1/4 of a cup. And shake it up after I've put the top on it, and just pour what excess spaghetti sauce I was able to get out. Now I'm just making sure to get the sauce as mixed with the ground up turkey now as I can. And presto, everything has been mixed together very well. And yes, the water is still not boiling. But now we are just going to put a lid on the top of it. And no, it is still not boiling. So at this point, the garlic bread, I have put it on a pan to get ready to put into the oven. Because once that water is boiling, we are going to put the garlic bread into the oven. Because it takes 10 minutes for that garlic bread to brown, and that's usually how long it takes to cook noodles properly. And now I'm getting very frustrated because that water is still not boiling. And keep in mind, I've cut some of these clips to make this video shorter, so this has been quite a while. But now at this point, the water is finally boiling, so I am going to be breaking up the noodles to put into the pot. So with me and Kristen, we tend to cook about half a box of noodles whenever we make spaghetti, because there's only 2 of us, and that sauce makes quite a bit. And we like to have some left over for like work the next day or dinner another night. So we do tend to cook half a box of noodles and, a pound of ground turkey and a whole jar of the spaghetti sauce. So it does last for a couple of days. Now I do use a pair of tongs because I know that in order to pick up the noodles later, we are going to need those, so might as well eliminate as many dishes as we can and use a pair of tongs while we're stirring. So at this point, it has been cooking for about 5 minutes, so I'm just going to grab one little noodle and kind of check to see the progress of how the noodles are cooking. So the garlic bread ended up not taking as long as usual. It's probably just me trying to get used to my new oven. But they are done before the noodles, so I was just showing a clip of them and showing that I cut that one piece in half. So at this point, the noodles have been cooking for about 10 minutes, so I did take another piece, and as you can see, I was having some difficulties. And I checked to make sure that it is al dente. So everything is done, so I am just making sure to turn off the stove because I am forgetful, and I am a person that will forget to turn off a stove and an oven. So everything is done. That was the sauce, that was the garlic bread, and now the noodles. Just gonna get one little scoop of noodles. And when it comes to my spaghetti, if nobody's tried this, you should definitely do this. But I do like to put a piece of cheese in it. And just one heaping scoop of sauce, and all done. That is how I make spaghetti, and I hope you enjoyed the video.